Welcome. My name is Clarice Warner. I'm the girl with the pearls, the founder and education director of the Professional Reimbursement Network, LLC, where coding education is key. Thank you so much for joining our webcast. So I'm really excited to discuss with you some little nuggets that I gleaned from the 2018 ICD 10-CM coding guidelines. I hope you stay till the end, as I will share with you information on a free email course that will help you in your medical coding profession. Next, we're going to look at chapter 15, which is the pregnancy, childbirth, and the puerperium. These are in 000 through 09A code ranges, and the guidelines start on page 64. So we're looking at the section Q, termination of pregnancy and spontaneous abortion. Number 2, retained products of conception following an abortion. Subsequent encounters for retained products of conception following a spontaneous abortion or elective termination of pregnancy without complications are assigned 003.4. Incomplete spontaneous abortion without complication are codes 007.4. Failed attempt termination of pregnancy without complication. This advice appears or is appropriate even when the patient was discharged previously with a discharge diagnosis of complete abortion. If the patient has a specific complication associated with the spontaneous abortion or elective termination of pregnancy, in addition to retained products of conception, assign the appropriate complication in category 003 or 007 instead of code 003.4 or 007.4. Chapter 20 is where we're going next, which is the external causes of morbidity. These codes are in the code range of V00 through Y99. And the guideline page is page 81. So we'll look at the general external cause coding guidelines. Number 1, used with any code in the range of A00.0 through T88.9 or Z00 through Z99. Any external cause code may be used with any code in the range of A00.0 through T88.9 or Z00 through Z99 classification that represents a health condition due to an external cause. Though they are most applicable to injuries, they are also valid for use with such things as infections or diseases due to an external source, and other health conditions such as a heart attack that occurs during strenuous physical activity. In chapter 21, factors influencing health status and contact with health services, Z00 through Z99, we'll look at section C, categories of Z codes. And starting on page 92, we're looking at the history Z code categories. And there are 2 of them that are new. Z91.81 is history of falling, and Z91.82 is the personal history of military deployment. Also on page 102, in the Z codes that may only be principal or first listed diagnosis, they've added a new Z code in that section. That's on page 102. It's Z40, which is encounter for prophylactic surgery. Now moving on to section 2, which is the selection of principal diagnosis, we're going to look at section K, which is admissions and encounters for rehabilitation. And this is all on page 105. And the information states that when the purpose for the admission or encounter is rehabilitation, sequence first the code for the condition for which the service is being performed. For example, for an admission or encounter for rehabilitation for right-sided dominant hemiplegia following a cerebrovascular infarction, report code I69.351, hemiplegia and hemiparesis following cerebral infarction affecting right dominant side as the first listed or principal diagnosis. If the condition for which the rehabilitation service is no longer present, report the appropriate aftercare code as the first listed or principal diagnosis, unless the rehabilitation service is being provided following an injury. For rehabilitation services following active treatment of an injury, assign the injury code with the appropriate seventh character for subsequent encounter as the first listed or principal diagnosis. For example, if a patient with severe degenerative osteoarthritis of the hip underwent a hip replacement at the current encounter or admission, and the current encounter or admission is for rehabilitation, report code Z47.1, aftercare following joint replacement surgery, as the first listed or principal diagnosis. If the patient requires rehabilitation post-hip replacement for right intertrochanteric femur fracture, report code S72.141D, displaced intertrochanteric fracture of the right femur, subsequent encounter for closed fracture with routine healing, as the first listed or principal diagnosis. And then there's a note to see section IC.19.A for additional information about the use of seventh characters for injury codes. And moving to section 4, the diagnostic coding and reporting guidelines for outpatient services, there is some new instruction there. In section P, encounters for general medical examinations with abnormal findings on page 110 of the guidelines. The subcategories for encounters for general medical examinations, Z00.0, and encounter for routine child health examination, Z00.12, provide codes for with and without abnormal findings. Should a general medical examination result in an abnormal finding, the code for the general medical examination with abnormal findings should be assigned as the first listed diagnosis. An examination with abnormal findings refers to a condition or diagnosis that is newly identified or a change in severity of a chronic condition, such as uncontrolled hypertension or an acute exacerbation of chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, during a routine physical examination. A secondary code for the abnormal findings should also be coded. Then we have in the Appendix 1, present on admission reporting guidelines. Present on admission is also affectionately known as POA. On page 112, the second paragraph from the bottom, it tells you they've changed the website. So it says to see, the guidance says to see the CDC website for detailed list of I-10 codes that do not require the use of a POA indicator, but the website is actually moved over, or the guidance gives you a website that's actually from CMS. So I will double check that when you get your official coding manual to see which guideline or which website is the true and official guideline there. So they crossed out this CDC website and added a website for cms.gov/medicare/coding/ICD-10/2018 ICD-10 CM and GEMS. So again, verify that and double check that. It says the codes and categories on this exempt list are for circumstances regarding the healthcare encounter or factors influencing health status that do not represent a current disease or injury, or that describe conditions that are always present on admission. So again, here is the link for the 2018 ICD-10 official coding guidelines. As I mentioned, you can also Google them. You can put in 2018 ICD-10 coding guidelines, and you'll probably get a list of several different sites, but make sure you select the one that has the cdc.gov. As I mentioned at the beginning, if you listened through the entire webcast, that I can give you information about tips for your medical coding career. So are you ready to be one step ahead in your career? Do you sometimes feel uncertain, or is it causing you to feel stressed and overwhelmed? There's a lot of information, a lot of things that we have to do as medical coders in our medical coding profession. Well, no matter what stage you're coding, if you've been coding for years without a certification, if you're a new graduate, either high school or GED, or even college graduate, if you're newly certified or just interested in a coding career, or looking for a career change, and medical coding just happens to be the thing that has caught your eye, then I have some tools to help you build your confidence. Let me share with you what it takes to be a certified marketable medical coder, and allow me to show you how. So if you go to the bit.ly/5stepscoder to sign up to receive our free email course on the 5 steps to become a certified marketable medical coder, doing so, you will get and it's just, again, 5 tips. So there will be 5 emails that you will receive. You will also receive our weekly blog post. And in our weekly blog post, we talk everything coding, but we also talk about strengthening and marketing the coder in the profession. As I mentioned, the information, the tools, such as knowing about and using your coding guidelines, such as knowing about and being prepared for audits using the OIG work plan, and knowing that the OIG has changed how they are providing information on the work plan. I provide all of that information on our weekly blog, so you will also receive our weekly blog posts. Remember, sharing is caring, and if this information has been helpful to you, please share the information regarding the replay with your colleagues, friends, and family who may benefit from it. So again, thank you for participating. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and more importantly, subscribe to our YouTube channel and like this video. Having that type of interaction allows me to know if this was beneficial for folks, and will allow me to come back and provide more of these types of live videos in the future. Also, you can email me if you have any questions, and visit our website or webpage if you have additional questions or concerns regarding the medical coding profession. Okay, so again, thank you for your time and being with me on this new journey as I live cast on YouTube. It's been a pleasure serving you this morning. Hopefully, again, the information that you received was valuable. We hope that you like our channel and like our video, and provide any comments. Yes, feedback is great for me. I do read all of the comments and try to respond to all the comments that I receive. You never know what nugget that someone can provide. So yes, please don't feel that I won't enjoy the comments. I do. So please provide any comments to the video. So until the next video, be safe, be kind, and don't wish for it, work for it. Take care and have a great day.